Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today we're talking about what is a spiritual cleanse. And this is kind of an interesting one because there are different spiritual cleanses that people have. Sometimes they're connected to their religion or their nationality. So there can be some that are kind of like, this is more of an African one, or this could be more of a Native American one, or South American. So there isn't like one size fit all when it comes to a spiritual cleanse. This is something that I've adapted for myself, and I've picked it up from many different ones, but I will tell you, for me, it really works. So it's kind of all about kind of like, what are the things that I need to keep in mind? And a lot of times, like if you have strong emotions towards something, that's kind of letting you know that it's time to do a spiritual cleanse. And so let's keep talking about our spiritual cleanse, because I'm going to talk about like 10 steps. And so step number 1 is really setting my intention. So what has been coming up on my mind that is really ready to be released or let go of, or any of that. So kind of like setting that intention, or what is really coming up for me. And I will tell you to kind of write that down, and kind of when has that come in. So maybe like in the last week or something like that, I've had like 6 people kind of talk over me, or kind of like trying to dominate the conversation, not trying to keep it in balance. So I'm like, okay, so let's do a spiritual cleanse on that idea. And so my intention would be to kind of find a balance in this. And I will go back to any of the ones that I've had over the last week, any of the ones that I've had in my lifetime, of kind of like, when did I feel like someone didn't let me say my side of the story? Or where is someone who didn't let me say what I needed to say? Does that make sense? Like, when did they not let me voice something out? And so I'll write that down, but I'll kind of write them individually, kind of like, what happened in this event, what happened in this one, and how did it make me feel? And so it's one of those, it's really important to kind of get into that emotional side of it. And so that's kind of step number 2, is kind of really talking about or getting in touch with the emotional side of your intention. What is it? And where is the emotion of this? Kind of like, where is the emotion part of this? And this can be really kind of like, did I feel angry, mad, upset, didn't really care? It kind of just annoyed me a little bit. Kind of like, what is the energy of it? So I can kind of allow those emotions to kind of get a voice, and kind of keep going at that part. Like, let me just keep doing this. Let me just keep going on with this. And it's one of those, if it's something that there are a lot of emotions to, I may have like, feel like I need to cry or scream, whatever it is. Like, I may feel like I've got to do something else to kind of like get into that emotions, because once I'm into the emotions, it's easier to let it go. If I'm kind of like, I don't want to touch the emotions, leave them alone, it's not allowing me to kind of connect with it. And it doesn't mean you have to connect 100%, just like, okay, yeah, that really ticked me off when she did this, or when he said this, or didn't let me say my piece. So that can be one of those like just emotional sides. And so kind of just sitting with your emotions during this time frame, or kind of sitting in that energy, can really help you. Like, next I'll say kind of if there's anything else that's coming up for you. So this is kind of like a recheck of my whole system. Is there something that's coming up with an ache or a pain? Is there anything else that I really feel like I need to voice out at this time frame? And this is kind of one of those like, anything else I need to let go of. So kind of like the second chance, like, is there anything else I need to let go of? Is there any other emotions that are coming up for me, or pain, injuries, any of that kind of stuff, issues with anything in my system? Where is it coming in from? So that's kind of like, okay, let's do that. I will tell you kind of the next one is kind of like, I think we're on 3. Is kind of really the breath work, and kind of like just relaxing in that energy and thinking about each situation and giving it a voice, allowing me, I would just kind of like bring that image up in my mind of like what had happened, and then really doing some breath work. So with my dominant hand, I'm going to place that over my belly button, and I'm going to breathe from my nose to my belly button. So several deep, doing a few deep breaths. And as I keep holding on to that image of what was there, and I keep breathing deeply, it's going to be like, okay, I think I'm ready to let this go. And then I'm going to allow my breath to blow it away and release it. And as I do, I may feel like I have to say something, like it wasn't fair of you to take all of the time for the conference, or all of the time to speak, or whatever it was, or you should have allowed me to say something, or whatever else, or you didn't allow me to voice anything, and kind of just letting that go, kind of like just blowing it out, blowing it off, can be a really great one. If there's more things that are kind of feel like they're underlying in there, or there could be something else, a lot of times my next step is to go into meditation. So that's kind of like, just let's go into that meditation state, and let's kind of do a deep meditation. And a lot of times I can feel at this point kind of like the muscles that were tight are starting to like open up or getting more relaxed. And so what I'll do in this meditation is a meditation where I send like several breaths into each section of my body. So usually I'll breathe into my neck first, and just breathing and relaxing those muscles and allowing that to go. And in my shoulders and down my arms, and then usually my front torso until I get to my hips. Do my back, because that's all about support, and then do my legs front and back both at the same time all the way down, and just kind of doing several deep breaths. And you may end up in this meditative like breath work anywhere from 3 or 4 minutes to maybe 20 or 30 minutes, something like that. It just depends on how long each area requires that breath work for me. I will tell you that this is kind of one of those. My next one is kind of like that forgiveness. I need to forgive myself, and I need to forgive the other person, but I'm always going to forgive myself first. And when you apologize, one of the quick, easy ones is when you apologize to literally, I apologize to you, Ruth, looking yourself straight in the eyes, and apologizing for it. I'm apologizing for not speaking up. I'm apologizing because I didn't fight for my time to speak. Or whatever it is, whatever's coming up in that situation. And then I'm going to tell myself, my new promise to you is to do better. Or my new promise to you is to speak my truth whenever possible. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to relax in that. And then I'm going to forgive the other person, whoever that is. I'm going to be like, I apologize, and I forgive you, and that maybe that you felt like you needed to dominate over me during this conversation, or that you had to kind of like put that positive energy, or that controlling energy into it, because I wouldn't give you a chance to voice your opinion or whatever else. So I apologize for that part of it. And then I will get to the point where it's like, okay, I let it go. And so releasing all of that. Next, I will ask my angels and guides to kind of give me a great insight into this. So that's kind of like that great insight into what else I can learn from this lessons. Sometimes it can be calling it out right away when I'm in a situation like that. Like, okay, when I get into a discussion with someone else and they keep talking over me, going, hold on a second, I feel like I'm not getting a chance to talk. So I'm going to let you finish. And then I deserve a chance to say something in rebuttal. So now I'm taking control in a little bit of a way and letting the other person know, like, I'm going to let you finish, but I also get a turn to talk as well, so that we're going to be in balance in this. So that's kind of one of those, we're going to be in balance. We're going to do this. And literally, sometimes if it's something that I feel like overwhelmed with, I will ask my angels and guides to come in and support my energy as I speak my truth, as I step up in this area, and kind of really allowing that to happen. The next part is literally feeling the blessings in this. Just even though the other person may not have been here when I was going through my spiritual cleanse, I know that they're going to feel it as well, and I'm going to feel it, of just that divine blessings of that now we're back in balance. Even if they were dominating over me, it's one of those, the interesting part is that there was a reason why. So what is the reason why they felt like they had to dominate over me, and what is the blessing in that? And staying in balance with the people around you. I often next give thanks to my angels and guides for bringing this situation to me, and even the other person for participating in this, so I can learn some amazing lessons to kind of get into a new healed state. And then I let it all go. It's one of those, and this process can take anywhere from a few hours to a few weeks, and it just depends on how fast I'm ready to move through each segment of it. There is not a time limit. It's just, what are you ready to do in your life, or kind of how are you ready to deal with this in your life. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.